venture capital funding, this headline really caught our attention. Funding reached a 16-year low during the third quarter of this year. Even as everyone was talking about a recovery, that hit a 16-year low. So is that drop going to mean we don't get the new small businesses that will fix our economy? And will the next Snuggie or Google come from outside America as a result? A.J. Kobani is founder, president, and CEO of Telebrands, creator of the As Seen on TV logo, and Lloyd Chapman is founder and president of the American Small Business League. Good to have both of you with us. A.J., you're next to me, so let's start with you. 16-year low for venture capital funding. These are funds that exist for the sole purposes of, well, funding nascent businesses.
Yep.
Is that something to cry about?
I think it is. I think it's a big deal because to get most small businesses and most new products that are launched, that's what we do, fail. And we fail 90% of the time. So imagine if we didn't have the capital to keep on going, and most small companies don't have the capital. So the capital's got to come from somewhere. You don't want to go put a second mortgage on your house or spend everything that you have and end up broke after you fail the first time.
Lloyd, is this something to be concerned about? I mean, you obviously represent and speak to small businesses every day.
Well, I think I kind of put it into perspective. And you have to realize that 99.99% of small businesses aren't served by the venture capital industry. So I just don't see it that big a problem. I think there's a multitude of much bigger problems. For example, I believe something like 0.3% of the stimulus funds have gone to small businesses. That's a much bigger problem. I think President Obama allocated something like $785 million to the small businesses that create 95% of new jobs. I think that's a much bigger problem than the problem with the venture capital industry. We're in the middle of the worst economic downturn in 80 years.
Right.
So I think what's happening in the venture capital industry is sort of expected.
Let me just ask you, AJ, and we have just a few examples of products that you deal with. Pet Egg, a lot of our viewers may have heard of.
30 million
Wonder
sold.
Windshield, 30 million sold. Okay, so these are, how do these come from an idea to actually showing up on television?
Well, we get lots of inventors that come to see us all the time, like the Windshield Wonder was brought to us by an inventor, and we invest all the money. So they don't need any venture capital. We invest all the money to develop the product and market it and distribute it, manufacture it, and all that.
And so have you cut back on funding at all, or?
We have not. We're funding more because our business is counter-cyclical. We're doing better now in this down recession.
We get a lot of smart people who want to go out with a good idea, right, who otherwise would have maybe had a job.
And what's remarkable is that we're getting many more people coming to us because we do fund everything. So I think one thing that happens in a recession is sparks innovation. People are now becoming more creative. People don't get more creative when they're out of their safety zone or out of their comfort zone.
So, Lloyd, when you say you're more worried about the stimulus funding as opposed to the venture capital data, I guess a definition might be helpful. How do you define small businesses? Because I know probably a lot of the ones AJ deals with is someone coming in with a single idea, and they don't have any employees yet, right? They want to build it up. Are you dealing with people at that nascent level of development, or maybe when they already have kind of just started up the curve?
Well, we're probably dealing with both. But 98% of all U.S. firms have less than 100 employees. That's a definition that I like, for small businesses. And I just think, again, to put it into perspective, I think CIT is the largest lender to small businesses and woman-owned firms, minority-owned firms in the country.
Right.
And that's going to have a much bigger impact on entrepreneurs, for example, than the venture capital industry. And again, the stimulus funds and federal programs. So although it's a problem, comparatively speaking, I think it's a fairly minor problem.
And AJ, before we go, it doesn't have to be one of these products here, but what do you think is the next, shall we say, Snuggie? Which some people may say, hey, look, we don't need those to be made in America anyway. There's been so many jokes made. But nonetheless, people did buy them. What's the next sort of hit thing?
The next big hit product is a product called Bottle Top. It goes on top of a can of soda and turns your can of soda into a bottle. So you have all the benefits of a bottle. You can reseal it. You can drink out of it comfortably.
What is it, just like suction it up and turn it into a bottle shape?
Yeah, it just sticks right onto it. The thing is, the market's so big. There's 100 billion cans of beverages sold every year, which is why the government wants to tax them.
Oh, so it goes on the top, I see, and then it has a resealable.
Yep, that's it. That's the next Snuggie.
That's the next Snuggie. All right, well, thank you very much. AJ, Lloyd, we appreciate having both of you with us.